today we'll be discussing on management, organization and control. A very interesting topic today discussion. First we'll go with planning. First of all, what do you mean by planning? See, planning is looking for future. Planning is nothing when to do, how to do, who will do, where to do. किए करिवो काहेकि करिवो केतेबेले करिवो आ कोन पई करिवो एटा को प्लानिंग कह जाय प्लानिंग द सबले भविष्य पई चिंता फॉर फ्यूचर प्लानिंग इज मोर कंसंट्रेटेड फॉर फ्यूचर प्लानिंग विल मेक अनसर्टेनिटी इनटू सर्टेनिटी जदि हम भलो बरे प्लानिंग करिथिबा तले किछ अनसर्टेनिटी को हम सर्टेनिटी करि परिबा ओके जदि जोटा नॉट पॉसिबल होतरा एटा पॉसिबल हम करि परिबा ताकू कह जाय प्लानिंग फास्ट फंक्शन मैनेजमेंट ऑफ फंक्शन कौन फास्ट वाला प्लानिंग तापर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग तापर स्टाफिंग तापर डायरेक्टिंग तापर कंट्रोलिंग तापर कोऑर्डिनेशन ठीक अछि आ प्लानिंग दा माने जानिया दरकार एटा गोटे प्रोसेस गोटे जेमति हमरो मॉर्निंग शोज द डे तो मॉर्निंग रु डे रु नाइट नाइट टू अगेन मॉर्निंग तो इट इज अ प्रोसेस इट इज अ साइक्लिकल प्रोसेस आपण जानिया दरकार कि प्लानिंग सब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दरकार एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन दरकार चैरिटेबल इंस्टीट्यूशन दरकार रिलीजियस इंस्टीट्यूशन दरकार ओके corporate sector dakar each and every sector planning is necessary and each and every place eta america ho delhi ho london ho washington ho paris ho france ho planning nihati dakar and planning jodi ame kari pariba planning is it include correct information to the correct people at the right time तो planning जदि हमें भला पर करथिबा तो ठीक information ता ठीक लोक को जीवो ओके आ ठीक टाइम रे जीवो because information is an asset in 21st century next है rationality माने कौन rationality means whatever is been happening it should happen example धर जोटा सत सेटा हम सत का दरकार जो जगह जा करिया कथा से करिया दरकार example suppose there is a fire in a place near your home what is your duty you are looking that there is a fire what you do you have to call the fire brigade you have to put water on it okay you have to put sand on it or you have to आउ ना तो आपनकर काम हला कि आउरी निया लगायर अछि तो जदि आउरी आपन निया लगायर अछि तापर आपन इरेशनल लोक जदि आपन फायर ब्रिगेड को डाकिले पानी पकेले बाली पकेले तबे आपन रैशनल लोक त प्लानिंग ता हला रैशनल ओके सब सेक्टर रे एप्लीकेबल होय फॉर्मल सेक्टर एप्लीकेबल हो इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर एप्लीकेबल हो आपन घर जदि बर्थडे पार्टी को तो प्लानिंग करे अछि भला बरे जदि यू आर गोइंग टू सम प्लेस यू हैव टू डू प्लानिंग तो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी प्लानिंग निहाती मैंडेटरी एंड मस्ट एंड प्लानिंग इज वेरी इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रोसेस आपको के करंती आपको टॉप मैनेजमेंट करे जो माने एमडी सीईओ सब माने आपको प्लानिंग करिवे ओके इज अ टॉप मैनेजमेंट फंक्शन प्लानिंग हला पर डिसीजन सब माने नेबे ओके एक्शन ओरिएंटेड थाए प्लानिंग सब बेल एक्शन ओरिएंटेड थाए एक्शन ओरिएंटेड मींस द थिंग्स जोटा हमें डिसाइड करू सेटा को हमें इनपुट विल बी टर्न इनटू आउटपुट फॉर रिजल्ट ओके तो डिसीजन जो न होबो किछ लाभ नै आउट अच्छे प्लानिंग प्रीमाइसेस मींस जो फ्यूचर कोर्स ऑफ एक्शन अपन डिसाइड करले तो सेटा कोउठ हमें करिबा हाउ टू फोरकास्ट इट कोउठ अप्लाई करिबा हमन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर थिबा दरकार तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नाही तारा प्लानिंग करिया हम भारी डिफिकल्ट ना पाई ओके बिकॉज़ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नथिबो अपन प्लानिंग करछन बट अपन पे कंप्यूटर नाही अपन प्लानिंग करछन अपन पाके ट्रांसपोर्टेशन फैसिलिटी नाही अपन प्लानिंग करछन अपन पाके रोड कम्युनिकेशन फैसिलिटी नाही तो वेरी डिफिकल्ट होबा बिकॉज़ प्लानिंग प्रोसेस इज अ डायनामिक प्रोसेस इट आर नॉट अ स्टैग्नेंट not a fixed process it is a flexible okay तो आपन को सिचुएशन डिमांड एनवायरनमेंट पीपल पॉलिसी मेकर्स गवर्नमेंट टैक्सेशन अथॉरिटी समस्त को नहीं कि आपन को प्लानिंग करिया पड़िबो डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ प्लान अछि एंड डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ लेवल अछि तीनटा लेवल बेसिकली उटा टॉप लेवल मैंने प्लानिंग जो माने सीईओ एमडी करिवे सेकंड वाला मिडिल लेवल में प्लानिंग जोटा आपन को मैनेजर रीजनल मैनेजर सब करिवे थर्ड वाला लोअर लेवल जोटा अपन सुपरवाइजर वर्कर जो माने रियली काम करथि तो तीनटा लेवल प्लानिंग है प्लान को टाइप रो अछि बुडे टाइप रो प्लान अछि प्लान रो अपन कहि पारे एटा एक ऑब्जेक्टिव हे पारे प्लान में इंक्लूड ऑब्जेक्टिव गोल भी इज अ पार्ट ऑफ प्लान व्हाट इज ऑब्जेक्टिव इज फॉर अ शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वर्षे व्हाट इज गोल इज फॉर लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम 2 ईयर 3 ईयर 4 ईयर 5 ईयर लाइक दिस अपन को स्ट्रेटजी हे पारे क्रिटिकल एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ प्लान अपन को पॉलिसी किछि हे पारे जदि किछि अछि एप्लीकेबल करिया को जे कोनसी योजना रो ओके त कोन पॉलिसी अपन को किछि प्रोग्राम हे जे किछि स्कीम अछि गवर्नमेंट रो किछि प्रोग्राम अछि ताको भी अपन एप्लीकेबल करि परिबे ठीक अछि ଆପଣଙ୍କ ଯଦି କିଛି ପ୍ଲାନିଂ ପାଇଁ ଗୋଟେ ବଜେଟ୍ କରିବାର ଅଛି ଆମର ଫାଇନାନ୍ସ ବଜେଟ୍ ହଉ ରେଲୱେ ବଜେଟ୍ ହଉ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ପରଚେଜ ବଜେଟ୍ ହଉ ସେଲ୍ସ ବଜେଟ୍ ହଉ advertising budget ho marketing budget ho cash budget ho whatever you have you have to make a budget so ta pai what is the procedure what is the process rules regulation kon achi method kon achi taku सब nei ki apna karibe planning jodi apna apply kuru chu apna you will get the direction where to reach that is very important and apna pakare opportunity thibo to analyze to interpret and to make the SWOT analysis. What is this SWOT analysis? SWOT analysis, S stands for strength, W stands for weakness, O stands for opportunity, and T stands for threat. And strength and weakness is an internal part. Okay, and opportunity threat is an external part. In many interview, they ask, give your SWOT analysis. Out there, not ever पचारुंदी आपनकर introduction दियो. ए पचारुंदी आपनको SWOT analysis करत. ए कंपनी रो SWOT analysis करत. ए ऑर्गेनाइजेशन SWOT analysis करत. ए लोकर आपनकर SWOT analysis कोन हला ए प्रोडक्ट रो SWOT analysis कोन ए मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सर्विस जे सर्विस प्रोवाइडर SWOT analysis कोन टाटा हो हमर रिलायंस ट्रेंड रो SWOT analysis कोन तेबे SWOT analysis पचारुचंदी ता माने बुझियार अछि तांकर स्ट्रेंथ कोन वीकनेस कोन अपॉर्चुनिटी कोन थ्रेट कोन आपण इंटरव्यू दाउ दियो आपण पचारे आपनको SWOT analysis कोन को मींस आपनको स्ट्रेंथ कोन अछि आपनको वीकनेस कोन अछि आपण अपॉर्चुनिटी कोन अछि कोन कोन अपॉर्चुनिटी पोस्ट रही कर परिबे आपनकर कोन थ्रेट अछि हु इज कॉम्पिटिटर टू यू हु इज कॉम्पिटिटर टू योर कंपनीज तो प्लानिंग जतिला आपण नेबे आपण ना डिसीजन नेले आपण जो डिसीजन नेबे इट विल बी नियर टू परफेक्शन ओके बिकॉज़ आपण बहुत प्लानिंग करथिबे आपण इन्फॉर्मेशन जुगाड़ करथिबे आपण रिसर्च करथिबे आपनकर बहुत आईडिया थिबो ठीक अछि तो इट विल बी नियर टू परफेक्शन बिकॉज़ हमें रिसोर्स मोबिलाइजेशन और रिसोर्स एलोकेशन प्लानिंग रे हम करू ओके मैन मटेरियल मनी मशीनरी मैनेजमेंट ए पांचटा को भला भाबे हम प्लानिंग जदी करि दबा तो हमरो रिसोर्स मिनिमम रिसोर्सेस रा मैक्सिमम रिजल्ट आसी आ प्लानिंग सबले हम सिखाय एफिशिएंसी एंड इफेक्टिवनेस मींस डूइंग द राइट थिंग एंड डूइंग द थिंग राइट कामटा ठीक करबा आउटे दो जिंसटा करे हेडा ठीक करबा ए दिना इंपोर्टेंट आ सबले प्लानिंग कोन करे इट मेक्स एन इंटीग्रेशन ऑफ वेरियस डिपार्टमेंट अपन अकाउंट्स ऑफ कैश डिपार्टमेंट भीतर फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट भीतर बोलो प्लानिंग जदि न होबो देन कंफ्यूजन हो ओके फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट अकाउंट्स डिपार्टमेंट स्टॉक डिपार्टमेंट परचेज डिपार्टमेंट जे तंकर आपन को इंटीग्रेशन नथिबो तो प्लानिंग गोलमाल हे जो आपन पाक स्टॉक नाही आपन स्टॉक डिपार्टमेंट इश्यू करदला रिक्वेजिशन परचेज डिपार्टमेंट को किनिबागु और परचेज डिपार्टमेंट पाखरे इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचनी परचेज मैनेजर पाखरे इंफॉर्मेशन पहुंचनी तो जदि प्लानिंग ठीक रे न होबो प्रॉपर एजुकेशन जदि न होबो तले आपनकर बिजनेस रा हान पड़ो प्लानिंग रे कोन डिमेरिट समस्त हमर डिमेरिट थाए मजरे मजरे किछि इनकम्प्लीट इंफॉर्मेशन जदि प्लानिंग रे आपन कर दियो दी तले प्रॉब्लम हे जिवो बिकॉज़ प्लानिंग इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप ऑफ ए फंक्शन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट मजरे मजरे प्लानिंग जदि फर्स्ट लास्ट फंक्शन कोन कंट्रोल मु कहितली प्लानिंग ऑर्गेनाइजिंग स्टाफिंग डायरेक्टिंग कोऑर्डिनेशन कंट्रोल तो कंट्रोल टा लास्ट कंट्रोल कोन करा जाय जति कि पास्ट एक्टिविटी हेता है पास्ट इवेंट हेता है ताको देखि कि कंट्रोलिंग करती इवेंट को ठीक है आ प्लानिंग हुए एनवायरनमेंट को देखि कि कम्युनिटी को देखि कि रूल्स रेगुलेशन को देखि कि ओके तो जब ताको देखि हम न प्लान करबा देन हमको डिफिकल्ट हे जीवो बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चले धरा कोविड-19 ने बिजनेस बे होची पार्सल रे चली फ्री होम डिलीवरी तो आपण देखिए हाउ टू प्लान एंड हाउ टू सेल द गुड्स थ्रू होम डिलीवरी ओके आपण को डेली होतला 20000 टका बट आपण होम डिलीवरी 10000 रुपीस आपण आदाय कले बट आपण जदी आदाय करि परिबेनी देन आपण को आरो वर्ष लॉकडाउन ने अफेक्ट हितिबो बिजनेस ए वर्ष लॉकडाउन ने अफेक्ट हितो बिजनेस ओके तो यू विल बी हैम्पर्ड तो यू हैव टू प्लान एज पर दैट प्लानिंग रे मजरे मजरे एक्शन रे डिले हो जाए ओके सपोज ए बिल्डिंग हैज बीन प्रिपेयर और ए ब्रिज हैज बीन प्रिपेयर एंड 10 इयर्स हे रानी एते डेरी काई प्लानिंग होची ब्रिज थरे तयारी हला बिकॉज़ ऑफ इनएडुकेट मैनेजमेंट इनएफेक्टिव यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ रिसोर्सेस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेगमेंट भलो नाही एक्सपर्टाइज भलो नाही ब्रिज भागी गला ठीक अछि आपण प्लानिंग करि देइ चंदी गोटे कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को बट ही अनेबल टू डू दैट फिर आउ 2-3 वर्ष लागि गला तो जोटा 5-6 वर्ष रे हिताना सेटा 10 वर्ष गला तो एमिति भी हुए प्लानिंग आपण करिवे फास्ट करिवे आपण प्लानिंग करिवे तापर अप्रेजल करिवे हाउ टू फाइंड आउट ओके देन आपण एनवायरनमेंट को देखिबे इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट एक्सटर्नल एनवायरनमेंट इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट के रहउछंती आपण का एम्प्लॉय रहउछि इंटरनल एनवायरनमेंट रे आपण रहउछंती एम्प्लॉइज आपण रहउछंती मैनेजर आपण रहउछंती कंपनी रो पॉलिसी मेकर कंपनी रो अकाउंटेंट कंपनी रो ऑडिटर दैट इंटरनल अफेयर्स एक्सटर्नल के रहउछंती आपण स्टेक होल्डर आपण government, consumer, public, customer, investor, bank, financial institution, policy maker, research institution, etc. etc. When you are planning, you focus on the key areas. Okay, the key areas of the planning is very important, which should be taken on priority basis. Okay, during COVID-19, the priority basis is health. Last will be education. Okay, but if the COVID-19 समस्त देह भलो अच्छे सब ठीक, then priority will be on education. Okay, because I mean, education and health are two important things which without that you cannot sustain in life. If you have alternative course of action, then it is more beautiful. When you are planning, you know, when plan A is not working, go for plan B. So always have alternative course of action. If you don't have an alternative course of action in COVID-19 also, see, the government has adopted isolation. People can also stay if you are not going to hospital. Okay, and it is found that maximum people who are staying in isolated, they're effectively and quickly recovering. The business also same thing. Okay, if you are not doing businesses with the public, then you are not having alternative plan. The time limit given to you, you do business with that time. After that time, you can do home delivery. Forecasting is an important element of planning. You know, forecast means to predict the future. And planning means a formulation of plans taking the past in present for future. In forecasting, it is a larger term. It may include the planning premises, the infrastructure that is used, maybe intangible, maybe tangible, maybe outside environment, maybe internal environment. There are different types of planning we have discussed. Strategic planning, you know, the strategic planning means it is a process of putting the different course of action. Okay, putting the different course of action, and that course of action you have to apply critically, analytically, intelligently, so that you can achieve your goal. Okay, strategic planning is normally used in defense sector. Raw of India use the strategic planning. A big company use strategic planning when they find something in different connotation. Tactical planning means process of formulating some specific functional planning, specific sub planning, or how the organization will adapt to that scope and decision of the organization that has been taken. Okay, either the plan, one plan has done, from that another plan is coming out, you do that. Okay, or one plan is done, it is general type of plan, you specify the plan so that you can achieve your goal. Long term plan is there, short term plan is there. Okay, short term means for a period of 1 year, long term means for a period of more than 1 year. That is the principle of limiting factor in planning. This is very, very important. What is the limiting factor? A limiting factor is one which stands in between the input and output. In other words, I can tell it is a factor which stands for getting the desired objective, for achieving the desired objective. That is known as limiting factor. Person who prepares a plan should have the right information. Person who prepares the plan, or the manager who prepares the plan, or the planning manager should have a vision. Should be a visionary person. Should have a mission in his mind. Should have a commitment. Should be honest. Should have an integrity. Should have a better communication skill. Should have a contribution to society as a human beings, as humanity. Okay. Should have a good liaison with the trade union. Should have good liaison with the top management. Okay. Then we'll go to decision making. What is decision making? Decision making is nothing but choosing or taking a decision out of alternative course of action. Decision making, what you will have 2-3 options. Suppose you want to study after BCom, you want to study in MCom. Where you will study? Number 1, Ravenshaw. Number 2, Utkal University. Number 3, Barampur. Number 4, Sambalpur. Number 5, Fakirmon. So you have 5 university. You have to choose from that. And you have to take decision. How decision are taken? Decision are taken if you appraise all of them. You appraise the good teaching facility. You identify your problem. Okay, you explore the possible alternative that you can have, other coaching facility and other, and you find out the staff facility there. You make the evaluation of all the alternative, and after that you make a selection. Okay, so risks may be there also, and the situation you should demand. Which situation what before this institute was the primary institute, the brand institute. Now it is not happening anymore. Then you select, after selection you implement that and you follow the course of action. After planning, organizing. Okay, organizing means making all the resources to come together. It involve a group of people. It means division of work. Okay, and it has a common objective. Individual interest is more important than the group group interest is much more important than the individual interest in organization. You may have vertical or horizontal organization, means from top to bottom, okay, or from left to right. Okay, from top to bottom, top management, middle level manager, low level management. From left to right, you have regional manager east, regional manager west, regional manager north, regional manager south. What is a chain of command? Chain of command means the command will be always coming from top management to lower management. See, before administration or organization was confused. Organization is used nowadays. Administration was used before in the government sector, okay, and organization was used in this private sector. Administration and organization is interchangeable, but now this organization is used more often. And if you have a better organization, if a good company, the working policy is effective, then you will grow and prosper easily and quickly. Why you will go and prosper easily and quickly? Because you will use the resources effectively, will manage the time efficiently, you will have some creative thinking, will apply the innovation and invention. Okay, you will find the humanity concept of the environment, and you will put the different components of the organization system. You will put some investment, that is an input. You will process that. You will find out some output, the result, and the result will be managed by the management team. Same with the step of organization like planning, that you will determine the objective, why the organization started, what is the objective, and how to identify, how to group the different activities among different persons as per the division of work, as per the specialization, and allocate the duty, give some responsibility, give also the authorities to do some duty, and find out what is the relationship, what is the interlinking process, what is the integration, and if there is any difference in integration, and then interact with all the group of person and find out where there is a lacuna in getting the division of work done properly or not. Different organization structure we have, but the organization structure clearly tells us that there is a differentiation between authority and responsibility. Suppose an organization has a vice chancellor, he has the authority. Other person have the responsibility. And suppose organization has a principal, he has the authority. Okay, sole authority. Other person have the responsibility. But sometimes the principal also gives authority to other person to act on behalf of him. The organization structure we will focus. It depends on different types of activities, and the organization structure are categorized. And the organization structure will help the organization to work in proper way. It is very important that the organization structure will be divided, and on the basis of the functional organization structure, on the basis of function may be marketing, maybe production, maybe finance. Okay, and they are also subdivided. It may be on the divisional basis. Okay, which division is divided, you have a planning division, you have an account division, you have a manufacturing division, you have finance division, you have a manufacturing division, marketing division, and another is adaptive structure, which is divided into project and farm organization, sorry, metric organization. Project may be the basis of a given work allocated to you within the time limit, and metrics means the combination of rows and column. Okay, so it is another type of organization which makes the project and functional organization to mix together. So you will mix the work with the specialization. Okay, that is known as the metric organization. Division of work either in planning or organizing. Division of work is a very very important thing, because the one work cannot be given to two person. One work will be given to one person who is specialist. Okay, and there will be differentiation in the organization tells us that there will be differentiation in skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. Okay, having high qualification in related BTech in electrical, BTech in electrical, they are skilled. Those who are not having the requisite qualification for that, ITI, etc., they are semi-skilled. Another term is the known as span of control. Is very very important. Other name of span of control is span of supervision, span of authority. Okay, because it indicates the number of individual a manager can manage effectively. Span of control is other name is span of management and span of supervision. It means a number of individual a manager can control effectively. It will depend on the nature of the work, how the ability of the manager, and its efficiency and the time needed for to manage the work. Organization also makes work in form of organization chart or organization manual. Organization manual is very valuable to organization, because as per the manual you have to work. It is a guidance force behind the working of the organization. There may be policy manual which tells us about the policy formulation. There may be operation manual which tells us about the day-to-day working. There may be rules regulation which tells us about the act and legislature. There may be departmental manual. Some departmental varies with different rules regulation. Fishery department has a different rules regulation. Finance department, because the nature and the way of work is different. There may be some formal organization, there may be informal organization. Formal organizations are more oriented to our manager decision. Informal organizations are very quickly, okay, they do not have any procedure. Formal organization have some well-defined objective set to achieve. Informal organization does not have some well-defined objective. They go haphazardly to achieve the objective. In case of formal organization, every individual belong to our group, but in case of informal organization, okay, a person can be a member of more than one group of his choice. So informal organization, there is a network of relationship of authority and responsibility. They have the group have their own objective. Okay, they set their own group goal. The communication is very very important, but they lack the communication, for which a lot of misapprehension and confusion conflict arises. And leadership also. Leaders, the informal group has its own leader. Okay, there may be some merit, there may be also some demerit. Then come departmentalism and forms of authority and responsibility. Authority and responsibility is very important. I have told person who is the head of the organization, head of the institutions, head of the company, chief, the MD of the company, the CEO of the company has the authority, and other have the responsibility. They, with help of this authority, do the work. And authority delegate the work to them to do on behalf of the department, behalf of the organization, because departmentation means different formation of different department on the basis of their activity, on the basis of the number of unit, on the basis of the number of people, on the basis of the number of on the basis of the purpose for which they are set up. So it gives a uniform rules and regulation for evaluation, for communication, for controlling, for effective utilization of time, for getting the specialization of production, getting specialization of marketing. Okay, there are different types of also departmental and functional. There may be production functional departmentation, maybe on basis of product, on the basis of marketing, on the basis of finance. Product maybe on the basis of different types of product A, product B, product C, product D. Territory on the basis of region, I have already told. Suppose Western Odisha, Eastern Odisha, Northern Odisha, Central Odisha. As per that, you can also distribute the region. And customer also, the different types of customer for different types of product. There may be rich customer for jewelry. There may be poor customer for different foods which are stored in the street. There may be middle class customer for those who sit in restaurant. Okay, the rich customer who sit in 5-star hotel. Different types of equipment are also there. Okay, equipment or plant one, plant two, plant from Australia, plant from Switzerland, plant from America. Same plant which is used for production of manufacturing of goods and services. So department are distributed according to this departmentalization. You have to choose on the basis of the expertise you have, on the basis of specialization you needed, on the basis of activity you go, on the basis of product you deliver, on the basis of service you want to render. So that there will be lesser conflict, lesser confusion, and there will be more control, effective control, and the output and the humanitarian concept of environmental, economic, and social will be more benefited. If you go for authority relationship, there are three types. One is line organization, another is line and staff organization, another is functional organization. So in case of line organization, you have divisional manager. Apart from the divisional manager, you have the assistant divisional manager. Then as assistant divisional manager, you have foreman. Like this, it continues. In case of line and staff organization, you have public relation officer. You have this production manager. You have marketing manager. You have finance manager. It is a combination of both line and staff. Okay. So on a line, and you will find out the different department where they are working. Line organization refer to position which have the responsibility of achieving the primary objective of the organization. Staff organization refer to those with the responsibility of advising and providing service to the line organization for achieving the organization objective or goal. Functional organization occupies a relationship between the interlinking between the line and staff organization. It will help in specializing the top position, putting the top position of the organization, and it will help in putting a command over a people of time, over a group of time, over a group of people for the betterment of the organization working and smoothly of the working of the organization. If you compare line and functional organization, line organization is there are like generalists, okay, but in this functional organization, they are specialized in their own function. If you compare a line and a functional organization, in the line organization there is uniformity of command, because in one line they will be there. But in case of functional organization, okay, they are very specialized. Line organization, they are very strict discipline, but in case of functional organization, there is loose discipline. So now we'll go to delegation of authority and responsibility. Delegation of authority and responsibility takes place when any work has been assigned, and the concept of centralization and decentralization arises. Both concept of centralization and decentralization also has some merit and demerit. Centralization means concentration of economic power in few hands, in one hands, like this. The top management has the power. So the top management will coordinate all over Odisha. You have the head office and other branches. Other branch manager who cannot take any decision unless and until the head office tells something. That is known as centralization. It is both merit and demerit. Merit is that it may take the decision very quickly, and demerit is that sometimes the decision may be also late. Merit is that there is no responsibility, there is lesser risk on the branch manager. And demerit is that as per the situation, as per the area, as per the locality, also the branch manager is unable to do anything. Decentralization means concentration diversification of power. All the branch managers have been given effective delegation of power authority to do on their own. The head office does not have anything. So they will do on their own. They will do as per the situation. They will do as per the organization. They do as per the locality. They do as per the product diversification. They do manage as per the risk and return. So there are different elements of there are different elements of delegation. The different elements of delegation is that it will help in finding out proper product. Just a minute. It will help for having effective principle of delegation or different elements of delegation. We'll go to the principle of delegation. It has a parity of authority and responsibility. There will be a difference in parity and authority and responsibility. The authority and responsibility may not have same, may not be with one person. Okay, There is a difference always, and there should be proper communication. There should not be any communication gap, because communication is the number one problem in 21st century. The proper things are communicated at the right time in the right place, so that there will be proper communication. Tasks should be delegated properly, and there should be confidence and trust. Okay, and there should be effective control. There should be reward for those who are working properly, and delegation will not only help them to improve the confidence by the confidence of the superior and the subordinate, but also it will help to provide the subordinate a sense of responsibility. Sometimes there will be democratic decision making, the decision of the subordinate, what the subordinate is saying, that also should be taken into account in the meeting, so that there will be equal distribution of work, so then subordinate will feel also importance to do the work. And then there will be don't go for fear of criticism. The fear of criticism also may arise. Okay, so there will be criticism everywhere. If a person is good, also they will criticize. If a person is bad, also criticize. So don't go for that. Motivation is a very key element. What is motivation? Motivation is an internal desire in the mind of a person to do something. Motivation is an internal desire in the mind of a person to do something. So you should have an internal desire, okay, to do something, by seeing, by doing, by hearing. Okay, so motivation is important thing for which you will be reluctant to find out, so that it will be reducing this. Every aspect have merit and demerit. Okay, delegation, is the process of systematic transfer of authority. Systematic transfer of authority. Okay, proper there should be proper plan, proper channel it will go, and decentralization is the end result of planned delegation. Okay, after the delegation, decentralization will come. Control is looking into the past, looking back. Planning was looking forward, control is looking back. How to see that that thing does not happen again, knowing that what has happened, and checking that what will be carried on in future, finding out any deviation, any difference, taking remedial steps, and suggesting the different types of plans and target. Because control is possible in everywhere, in each and every step, and it is a continuous process, and planning is the basis of control. If you are not planning perfectly, you cannot control the activity. Planning is future and control is past. Control means past, means you have to look into past. What has happened? Okay, like that you have to control yourself, so that same thing does not happen in future. You have to adjust your operation activities. Okay, if there is no demand for the product, you have to adjust your supply. If there is no demand for the labor, you have to reduce your labor. Okay, you have to find out the responsibility of the manager. How many manager responsible require? If it is automatically done, you have to reduce the manual labor. You have to find out setting the standard of the control. This is the steps. You have to measure the performance of the control. You have to make a comparison the actual with standard, and you take some corrective action. Why it is not happening? What is the responsibility? What is the problem? If there any flexibility is needed, or if any corrective action is to be applied, which is economical, which is not economical, what are the human factors? These are all needed. Regarding the limitation of control, what are the problems in control? A lot of problems are there in control. What is the external factor? This is one of the problems. Lot of interference from external activity will come. How to control that? Political, government action, market change will be changing, condition will be changing. How to take some action against those who are ineffective in controlling? How to measure the day-to-day activities, the economic expenditure activity, the non-economic expenditure activity, that also you have to take into account. The areas of control things on innovation, You have to control. You have to do marketing. You have to do productivity. You have to do financial, physical resources. You have to do financial resources. You have to find out the profitability. You have to think on the managerial performance attitude. You think of public responsibility. There are some controlling technique. Budgetary control is one thing. You have to make budget like cash budget, railway budget, finance budget is prepared. You have to purchase budget, sales budget. A technique of managerial control refer to the principle, procedure, and practice achieving the objective through budget. Standard costing is very useful. It is regarded as a tool of cost control. So, a traditional technique of control is standard test costing and budgetary control. If you go for modern technique, it is a break-even analysis. Is there? What is break-even analysis? It is an analysis of controlling cost. When the new business start, they follow this adapt. No profit, no loss job. ना प्रॉफिट होगा ना लॉस होगा. You're purchasing goods at 50, you are selling goods at 50. Another is PERT, program evaluation and review technique. The key to success to any organization is that the program should be properly evaluated, reviewed before being implemented, so the result will come out effectively. It is useful like planning and scheduling and controlling. Number 3 is CPM, that is critical path method. It is developed by the engineer in 1950 by DuPont company, and its main objective is that what are the strategic element of a planning process. Its main objective to find out so that better planning, designing, coordinating, and controlling will take place. What is the purpose of statistical quality control? The purpose of statistical quality control is to find out the quality of a product, quality of a service, regarding irrespective of the size, irrespective of the quality, irrespective of the product, irrespective of its weight. Number 5 is management audit. Management audit means application of systematic and critical evaluation of books of management, management accounting, books of management, overall performance of management, appraising, and find out the procedure of that with help of objective, with help of goal, and find out whether that will be production efficiency or investment appraisal as per the scope and the subject matter of management audit. This was all about this management. Then we have communication coordination. I've already told in case of communication, it is a number one management problem today in 21st century. And the process of communication tells us that ideas should be clear, and who will be participating, their involvement should be clear. What message should be communicated? The actual message should be communicated. Proper encoding should be done. Motivation of the receiver to get the message and reply, that is important. And how to evaluate the process. Elements in communication process may be communicator, or then maybe person who's communicating, then encoding, putting in his code language, putting the way he's wanting to do, sending the message. The medium of message should be taken into account. Okay, then other person is receiving, he's acknowledging and sending the message in his own coding or own language, decoding. Then the receiver is getting, then the feedback is given. The channel of communication may be formal channel of communication, the proper channel in organization, in establishment to go for a formal channel. In case of informal organization, from that if it is going for a social group or within a friend, a letter being sent, okay, natural desire of human being to communicate with each other, then informal communication will go. Vertical communication means between process occupying between superior and subordinate in organization. Downward communication will go from bottom to top. Upward communication will come from upward, top to bottom, and horizontal communication will directly between person having equal rank. Digital communication is now very important. No, digitally through WhatsApp, through mail, you are getting the communication. On different method use, verbal communication is also important and used only by voice. Okay, and written communication, you have to write some letter so that it can be used as evidence in the court of law as a record. Gestural communication, those who are unable to tell, and they go by gesture, they show by way movement of their hands to make the verbal communication, or the written communication they show by the movement of the eyes, sometimes by the hands. So there are some barrier also. How the communication gap is there, miscommunication is there, because some barrier is there. There are different layers of management. That's why the communication arises. There may be some language problem. The language we use in Sambalpur and language is used in Parampur, the language is used in Cuttack, language used in language used in Koraput is different. Sometimes the status barrier is there, a superior and a subordinate. There may be some problem in communication. There may be some physical distance barrier. So if you are not in front to front, what you are saying, the other person is unable to understand. What the other person is saying, you are unable to understand. There may be emotional and psychological barrier. Your emotion and psychology not understood by the other person in the right way, for which there is huge conflict, huge financial burden on the company, and losses also arises. For that, if you want to make effective communication, okay, there should be good flow of communication. There should be flow communication from one person to another. There may be system of feedback. There may be one common language of communication. There may be number of participants who are listening. There should be given more focus. Your emotion, your wording should be more effective. Your non-verbal sign also will be taken into account, and there will be trust and faith and confidence within each other. That is coordination. Apart communication, then coordination. It is the orderly arrangement of individual and group. Arrange the individual and group in such a way that you will achieve the objective. Okay. First, the department should have good relationship. Then people should have good relationship. Then your working culture should have good relationship. Then common purpose, you should have common purpose, common goal. Then you should work continuously. Okay. There should be good communication, or there should be good interlinking with authority and responsibility. Then you can harmonize the common group, common objective. Motivation, I've already told, is an internal desire in the mind of person to do something, and it should come within you. You should be motivated to do something, and it may come in different behavior, it may come in different time, it may come in different action, it may come in different situation. Okay, and different motives are different inquisitiveness to you to get yourself motivated and to come forward. And it operate in conflict also, it operate in peaceful environment also, it can operate. And sometimes the motives may come and go. Okay, and will give you some think tank to do whether you will do or not. Motive may come from internal environment, motive may come from external environment, motive may come from television, etc. Motive may come from seeing something, doing something, hearing something. The process of motivation is that there will be a motive, and after the motive arises, your behavior will change. After the behavior will change, you will set your goal fixed. Theory of motivation. Background theory is there. It is theory X, theory Y. Okay, the first assumption is contained in theory X. The second assumption is contained in theory Y. Theory X tells us the average human being dislike work and will not work with the given work. Theory X. Theory Y tells us the opposite thing. The average human tends to work. So they both tells us one thing in the opposite way. One tells us there is no responsibility there. They're not interested in doing anything. They're not interested in decision making. They're not interested in organization needs. They lack integrity. But other tells us that they're more focused on integrity. They are more inclined to authority and responsibility. They have the desire to achieve. They want the organization to be sacrificing themselves for the organization goal. Number two is Maslow human need priority theory. Number one, it's self-actualization need, that you need yourself, what needs to be fulfilled. Number two, estimate status need. You have a status, you have to focus on the status and in esteem. Number three, the social needs. The social needs, what you want, society wants. Affection, you want love, you want appreciation, you want acceptance, you want belongingness. And the safety and security needs, everybody want personal safety and security. Okay, for that you make some insurance. And psychological need, you need food, water, okay, air, shelter, to hide yourself, to protect yourself when you need. Our third theory of motivation is Herzberg theory of motivation. It deals with the two factors. One is motivational factors. Motivational factors deals with what you have achieved. Number two, how much you have recognized. Number three, how much you have increased your livelihood, increase your career, increase your destiny. Number four, how much work you are doing. Number five, what is the possibility of growth of yourself. Number six, how much responsibility you can take and you have taken. In case of maintenance factor, you find the company policy and its process, the rules and regulation, the administration structure, the relationship with superior, with the coordinate, with the technical supervision is needed or not, what is your salary, job security, personal life, working condition is perfect or not for you to work. Then come job enrichment. Job enrichment means you are increasing the content of job, or you have been given more responsibility in addition to that, so that your responsibility increase, your scope will be increasing, and you will do some challenging work. Motivation may be positive and negative. The same motivation which is positive for you may be negative for others. Okay. Suppose you have interest in doing work, somebody doesn't have interest in doing work. It is a positive motivation for you, others negative motivation for you. There may be extrinsic and intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is outside, intrinsic motivation is inside. There will be financial, non-financial motivation. Financial motivation gives reward in finance, in figures. Non-financial gives motivation in quality. So motivation not only helps the organization to work perfectly, but will motivate the employees to work as per the need for better suggestion of the organization, providing better suggestion to the organization, providing democratic culture among the organization, and giving good opportunity to the growth of the organization. Extrinsic motivation means the incentives which are given to the job, like salary, fringe benefit. Intrinsic motivation means the incentives given to the internal job satisfaction during the performance of the work. Leadership, leadership is the process of influencing people, influencing company workers, group activities, by achieving different goals. It is a continuous process. If you take the cooperation of each and every person, you have to coordinate that. It depends on your acceptance, depends on your leadership, depends on your talent. There are different theory of leadership also. One is behavioral theory. It depends on the different behavior of the leaders. USA leaders have different theory. Indian leaders have a different behavior. Sometimes Pakistan leaders have different behavior. They are more aggressive. Indian leaders are more patientful. Trait theory is there. It tells us about regarding personal quality of the leader. The successful quality that needed to be leader are it should be intelligent, honest, mentally mature, physically strong, and situational theory also should be followed. What is the system of leader? Follow theory, position power theory, and who is going to do the tasks. That also is to be taken into account. Leadership style is their autocratic style means whatever he thinks. For example, Hitler, he was doing. Democratic means you have to take decision of other members of your company organization. Okay, participative. Laissez free means the opposite of autocratic. Manager will adapt the style completely gives him the leadership role. The subordinate group is allowed to make a decision and left to the members of the group to do as they like. That the superior is doing here, the subordinate will do. Okay. The main function of leadership is that to have a good team, and the leader will represent that. The leader will be standing ahead of the group. The leader will lead from the front. The leader will have to counsel the other members of the family, and he has to use the power effectively. Proper use of power is needed. Leadership effectiveness focus on grid. There are four grid. 9.1. is tax. 1.9 is team. 1.1 is how to improve team building. The team is a composite of people working together. They have different objective, different caste and creed coming from different places. They work in a team. Mutually, they should be accountable. The achievement of the goal of the group is essential, not the group of the individual. Different committees also are there in the team, maybe formal, informal team. Formal team, those who go for the rules, regulation. Informal team, those who come when the people come together and work with them. To making the team, forming the teams, and giving the assignment, giving the work, and started making them to work perfectly, and the conflict may arise. There may be some competition, and how to establish a relationship between these different forces. So the team building is a important force, shaping the team for future course of action, for better tomorrow, for smooth running of the organization. So it has different aspect. One is Johari window approach to help member to express their opinion, their reaction, whatever they can express. The role negotiation approach is focused on understanding what are the expectations of the team member. The team role approach, it focuses on the what are role of the team, maybe coordinator, maybe planning, maybe monitor, maybe evaluator. Behavior modification approach is focused on examining members regarding the team. The simulation approach, the artificial team is formed when member attract, member connect. Like this, the action research team is there, projection for future is there. Team effectiveness. The organization, if the team is working effectiveness and efficiently, then you can achieve the goal. The degree of achievement of the goal will be more because reward will be there, and proper environment, proper system of environment of proper system of leadership, and better team size is very important. Team composition is important. Team roles is to be defined, and there should be cooperation and coordination between different teams, so the team will grow and develop. This is all about this block 3 and block 4. Any doubt you can ask. We have 5 minutes left. Any doubt if you have, you can ask. If there is no doubt, you can leave the class. Thank you for attending. Any doubt you have, I've given my WhatsApp number and also call number. You can ask me. Again, I'm giving. First is WhatsApp number and the second is call number. Thank you.
हेलो 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 प्रिया जी, हेलो मनीषा जी, हेलो 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 आवाज आ रही है? हेलो 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 प्रिया जी, हेलो हेलो कहाँ से हो आप प्रिया जी? हेलो हेलो मनीषा जी, हेलो 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 not being recorded. हेलो आवाज नहीं आ रही शायद।